which is Relay Therapeutics. So, Relay Therapeutics is a clinical stage biotech that applies its proprietary Dynamo platform, combining molecular motion simulations, AI, and experimental assays to design drugs for cancer and genetic diseases that traditional approaches struggle to hit. Its lead asset, Relay 2608, is a first in class PI3K alpha selective inhibitor now moving into phase 3 trials for breast cancer, with additional studies underway in vascular malformations. Although the company's current revenue comes only from collaboration milestones, Relay is backed by about $710 million in cash and aims to fund operations through major data readouts expected in 2027 through 2029. Financially, its cash far exceeds its market cap, giving it a negative enterprise value. Conviction wise, this dropped through my research, and I want to be very clear why. I have actually never believed in the company more. Let me tie the strings together, the loose ends together, because their platform lets the scientists see how proteins move in time, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. The way Relay sets up the way they select the molecules, first of all, is head and shoulders above other companies because they're looking, call it more precisely than others are. And then the way they design their trials is superior to other companies. That means their rate of success is going to be higher than most other companies. This matters because running clinical trials costs a lot of money. So if you could do the kind of work on the back end better, you're going to have a better reward. The data that this particular drug, Relay 2608, currently has in hand is just so far superior to what's on the market now, and we're talking about breast cancer here. So my conviction that this drug will be commercialized and that's going to be a blockbuster in a few years has never been higher. Its current market cap, Badger, is only 600 million. So that's why, when it has 710 in cash, it's selling below, right? It's cash. Why did my conviction drop? It's because it became very clear to me that the next time we can have something like a positive catalyst is going to be at least a year away. And then even then, you're still years away from commercialization. So even though I'm saying at the same time, it's sort of inevitable that this will be a major blockbuster drug worth billions and billions, like to the order of 10x, the market, it's the Wall Street stuff. Like, why would a company right now buy additional shares when nothing's going to move the stock price? And that's why I think it's just a matter of timing, really, why the shares are so theoretically undervalued. Let me say all that in a different way. Relay at 600 million has an easy shot, straight shot to a 10x of being worth at least 6 billion. There's no question about that. Data is in hand, right? But that's not going to happen for a bunch of years. So even if you invest in it today, you're going to overperform the market, say 5 years from now. But then as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of other companies that are already, producing and already performing in the field, as it were. The thought of adding more shares today did not feel right. So this is one of my major holdings, one of my major top 5. And I picked up shares when it was like something $1.80 per share, so 50% lower. I think if we get that kind of scenario again, where the market cap is around 300 million, that's such a no-brainer that I will pick up more shares additionally. But right now, I'm going to put my hands under my butt and just let the months, calendar pages fall off and tend to my other positions. The only caveat I would say is that there is always a risk that they'll announce some sort of licensing deal, or some company will buy them out for a huge premium. And that's why I'm not even tempted to selling, and reallocating all that money. This is one of those creme de la creme of biotech, and it's just a matter of timing.
I mean, I'll take your word for it, but the market doesn't agree with you, right? Because it's priced below the cash it has. So I suppose the implication there is like if you were able to say turn off the company tomorrow and shut it down, and that would generate shareholder value closing the company down because the valuation, the market cap is below the cash on the books. Plus, they've probably got some assets and some other stuff, right? So yeah, the market essentially is saying, well, we think they're just going to set fire to that cash. They're going to burn it over the next couple of years, and it's going to be worth like way less.
I think it's more nuanced than that. Maybe if you're like a robot and you're not like a human person and you just look at spreadsheets, I think that is a reasonable conclusion, right? That we just don't believe this company is going to make it. That's why the value is so low. But as a human investor, I think it's a different story. I don't think many people think this company is going to run out of cash. I mean, they have a runway through commercialization, basically. I think it's really more the situation where it's more about impatience. And if you're a hedge fund and you want to justify owning this in 2025, knowing it's going to be another 2 years, say, before the next meaningful milestone is hit, then your boss might look at you and say, that's 2 years is a lot of opportunity cost, especially, sure, nothing is a given. Anything could happen, right? But at this point, I'm going to leave it as one of my top holdings because it is so undervalued for the blockbuster that will become that I kind of don't want to get cute and screw myself over with the timing. I'm just going to leave the shares I have and add more only if it becomes even more severely undervalued relative to its future blockbuster status.
You're using words like top conviction and like highest, like favorite ideas, but you've only given it 3 bananas. Like, can you tidy that up for us?
This is probably the most complex holding I have because it's contradictory. It's contradictory in that I have as high conviction as I have in the, call it the biotechnology and in the inevitability of success, but it only gets 3 bananas, which is lower than Coherus, say. And Coherus is the much inferior, call it biotech company, because Coherus could actually surprise to the upside in the next month or in the next 2 months or in the next 3 months. And Relay is just not going to do that unless there's a surprise, licensing thing. And so because the banana badger scale is time sensitive, and we're talking about, we're giving the ratings to right now, the shares of Relay, even though they're massively undervalued relative to their future, it's still going to be a weight. So I couldn't justify that as a neutral. It kind of feels to me like I just won't be adding to this at the relative valuation. So that to me feels like a 3.
All right, well,